What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Eric Hess, joined by my co-host Andrew Jakubs.
Okay.
At the Casual Millennials podcast here. Today with us we have Kelsey Lawson, who is, let's just let you tell yourself.
Sure. I am the owner or co-owner of Rebel Squid Agency. We are a creative agency in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Also very involved with Swarm events. That was my first job straight out of college. Still very, very much involved in that. And here at the Hive, do all of the branding and content and stuff here at the Hive.
Yeah, and you did our logo.
I did.
Very awesome logo.
Yay, good.
Should be noted.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And I skipped a part here. Andrew, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm good. I don't matter. We just
over.
described that I'm the secretary this episode. So it's okay. Take it wherever you want to go. No, it's good. It's been a little podcast hiatus, so it's good to be back.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that. You guys haven't done one since December.
We did the opposite of you set a New Year's resolution, you're like, we're going to be better. We decided to just be lazy for 2 months.
Hey, I get that though. Sometimes you just need the break. It feels like both, you've probably been going. I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
Now knowing that you've done the whole merger and stuff, and yeah.
I mean,
everybody needs a break.
I think we definitely, at least Eric and I, just had to reprioritize our lives, and I think this kind of just fell to the back burner as it does.
That's life.
It's not as, doing a podcast itself is easy, but keeping it going, keeping it fresh, and keeping it fun, I think is the hard part.
Totally.
As well as finding awesome guests like you. So thankfully, you're always over here in the corner, and we'll just call you over.
Always over in my lair.
Exactly. Coming up with great logos such as ours.
Thank you.
But back to you, to the guest of honor. Give us some background. So you said straight out of college you were summer events, but where did you go to college?
So I went to Whitewater, which is why, part of the reason why this conference room is purple and named the Esker Conference Room. It's our little homage to Whitewater. I graduated in 2014. I've always had an interest in graphic design. And I've always just been a very, very, very creative person, whether that was music or whether that was art. Photography was another big thing that I got into when I was probably 16. Had a lot of older friends that took their senior pictures and kind of started to do my own photography business, as a young teenager. And then, let's see, when I was 16, I was in a graphic design class in high school, and my teacher sent myself and another student to this agency in Green Bay called Archetype, and it was kind of like my first introduction to the an agency and what people do all day. And I remember just leaving that whole shadowing day being that is what I want to do, hands down. I loved doing all my graphic design courses in high school. And it stuck. So I went to school for graphic design.
What was the day like?
What was the day like?
What was the day in the life of a graphic designer at an agency?
Well, from what I'm sure it's very different what they do versus what I do. It's kind of similar, I suppose. But I thought it was so cool. They took this old church and they turned the inside into the agency. So on the outside it looked like a church, and on the inside it was just this creative hub. And I just thought it looked really cool, and it just seemed like such a fun place to go to work. And I'm that's the kind of environment that I would want to work at for the rest of my life. And so kind of trying to create that now, because I've only ever worked for a small business. Now I own one, so
sure.
So I'm just kind of learning it as I go.
Nice.
But yeah, so I went to this, did this whole tour, thought it was great. Went to school for graphic design at Whitewater, art degree with a minor in advertising. Graduated, and then had a job offer lined up right before I graduated from Michael Sampson. And another friend of mine who I did photography for all throughout college. Was like a freelance photography thing. I did photography for a nightclub in Madison. I did all of their branding, I did all of their social media, I did all of that. So I was freelancing and doing my own thing all through college as my means of making money. Didn't really do much of any other jobs. outside of that, other than when I was like in college in high school and working.
Nice. So
Yeah.
building on a portfolio even while in school.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How'd you meet Michael?
So I met Michael through getting this job opportunity with Swarm. So
So you didn't know him before that?
no, Swarm was created by two guys. One of them's no longer with us, but he's still a good friend of mine, and I still very much look up to him. I think he's an incredible designer. He's actually the co-owner, one of the co-owners of Site 1A now. His name's Michael Byers-Dunn. Shout out Michael Byers-Dunn. I knew him because he was also a co-owner of Weekend Natives, which was the photography company that I was shooting with in college. And Michael had started a company together, and I knew Michael Byers-Dunn more, and he was like, I'm starting this company, I would love to bring you on, as kind of like working under him and helping them do all of the graphic design for the events that they were doing and curating events and stuff like that. And I was, about to be graduating, and I was like, cool, a job, like, that's figured out, done, like, sign me up, I'm ready to go. I really much looked up to Michael. I had met Michael when I came to Milwaukee and like to talk about the details of everything, of like what I was going to be doing, and that's when I met Michael. Shortly after I moved to Milwaukee and started everything with Swarm, they split ways as business owners, and I stayed on with Samson just because that's what was paying my bills, and I liked doing it, so he hasn't been able to get rid of me since. And now we own a business together.
At what point did you guys shift from like working for the Hive and then they actually started Squid?
So I guess the way it came is Swarm came first, then the Hive came because we needed an office, and this was an entire underutilized space. It was storage essentially. There was so much crap up here, and we cleared it all out, and we were like, okay, that's going to be our area, and then everything else will just open up for other people to be able to use and kind of create this co-working office. So Swarm, Hive, and then kind of during all of this as well, I was doing, under Swarm's name, I was doing some marketing and social media and graphic work for some other bars and restaurants that Michael had been either a part of or just word of mouth, like knew that he could throw my name out to someone and help them out. But I was functioning under Swarm's name, and I think he kind of quickly understood that, okay, a marketing company and an event company, like, kind of are going to outgrow each other, or like they have the potential to outgrow each other, so let's keep them separate. And like let that business do its thing, and then let's let Swarm do its thing. And then he asked me to be his business partner for the marketing company.
Nice.
Yeah.
So are you full Rebel Squid now, or do you still help out with Swarm?
I'm all of it. I wear many hats.
Yeah. Such a small business life.
Yeah. It's all just kind of intertwined right now at this moment. I think we want to kind of slowly transition for Rebel Squid to be its own, like fully on its own type thing, and not really tied to Swarm in that sense.
Sure.
But yeah, I know it's a work in progress. Where it's kind of it's that slow growth and kind of making sure you're scaling at the right amount. All things that I am just like sometimes like feeling way over my head, and I never, when I started with Swarm, really thought that it would come to this. If I'm being very honest, I think that I'm a really good, and this is probably not giving myself enough credit, I tend to like put myself down a lot more than I probably should, but I tend to be a very, very good follower, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like in a good
number two.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of like what I always was with Michael. I was always like that number two. Wasn't quite the one running Swarm, but like I was right there underneath all of it, and anything he needed me to do, I could do.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole stepping into the leadership role and being the boss and being the business owner has been a huge learning curve for me that I still sometimes, I don't think that I'm pushing myself outside of my comfort zone enough. I think I'm still very much kind of trying, I play it safe. I don't know.
How can you be doing that when you just started a business?
I know. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's a confidence thing, I suppose. It's just so much pressure. I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself to really, because I've worked for and been with so many successful people. Michael's done great things. Michael Breyer's done, the guy he started it with does great things. So many other countless, networks of people who are all doing great things, and I just want to, be doing my part, and I very much am. I'm proud of myself. It's just a huge learning curve.
For sure. So where do you feel like you could push yourself more?
I'm the introverted extrovert person. So when it comes to kind of getting myself out there, networking, building a network of other people doing the same thing, like-minded individuals type stuff, collaborations and stuff like that is where I just I have a hard time stepping out of my bubble, and I think that's something that I could definitely improve on.
That's good answer.
You know what I mean?
Here's a good start doing podcasts.
Yeah, totally.
Is this your first podcast?
No, I've done one actually. I've done one in here before with Regina Simonson at the Plug. Hi, Regina.
Shout out.
She's awesome. She now lives out in Colorado, but she's got a great podcast too. And Mo and I did her podcast.
It's fun.
And they were actually one of the first hosts of our podcast meetup event.
Oh,
Yeah, they were
really
the ones
cool.
I think we launched that event series with, actually. Yeah,
Nice.
good people.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I want to take this back a little bit, because you say you're a good number 2, but you also made the comment that you think you might be not giving yourself enough credit.
Yeah.
But to your point, there is a very good skill set to being a good number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, and not that I'm saying, some people aren't supposed to be the leader. Some people aren't supposed to be the number 1.
And
I don't think there's anything wrong with being a good number 2.
I completely agree. And that's why I kind of take some pride in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think it's helped Michael out. I know that I've been a huge asset to what he's built and what he's grown, what we've grown. So, I got to give myself credit for that.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I just wanted to make a note of that, because you're definitely not selling yourself short. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm good at my job, and I can definitely get there. It's just it's growth and learning, and that's something that I've done a lot in the last 2 years.
So, when did you realize that being uncomfortable and pushing maybe outside of that comfort zone was a good thing, and not maybe as bad as it sometimes feels when you're actually doing it?
As cliche as it sounds, because everybody's heard of it, the minute that you step outside your comfort zone is where you see success and all that.
Yeah.
And it's so true though, because pushing yourself outside your comfort zone is where, you take the risks,
Mm-hmm.
and the risks is where you learn, and when you learn, that's how you're growing. And if you're not doing that, then you're not growing, and you're not learning, and you're not pushing yourself. And so I definitely, I know that that's what I need to do, is just kind of doing things at my own pace, and I don't know, trying to not get too hard on myself for not trying to do all of things all at once. Because that's another thing that, I think that I struggle with, is obviously saying no, and taking on too much or pushing myself too much, and knowing that it's okay to step back and take things, I don't need to be running 5 companies all at once. It's okay to focus on the one and build that,
Yeah.
I don't need to have 10 employees. It's okay to build what I have with one, and just take it as it goes, one step at a time.
100%. I think that's actually a really important thing that people need to realize, especially in today's day and age where the hustle, the grind, and everything else is so idolized.
Yeah.
When in reality, it's more of a focus drive.
Yes. Yeah. I'm big on knowing you can keep your work and you can have both. You can have a personal life, you can have the work life. Just because you are, I know everybody's got this whole mantra of being an entrepreneur is the 24/7 job, but you have to understand that it's okay to take the break sometimes and not disconnect entirely, but that's why when you guys, we took our, it's been a couple months since you posted a podcast, to refocus things. That's okay. You don't need to get hard on on yourself for that. That was maybe what needed to happen.
Yeah.
So it's okay to step back and take, not work on a Saturday if that's going to be good for like your following week, if just like taking that day or those couple days, or taking a vacation for yourself and like doing things for yourself, and you know, giving yourself that time away from work so that you can decompress and like de-stress, because it is stressful.
That's important.
Yeah.
If you miss that, or if there's like the breaking point or tipping point where you know you're overwhelmed, and if you don't take that day off, I feel like it just kind of throws off your entire next week.
Totally.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah, and I don't deal well with stress, and so I've kind of, as I've kind of been going through this process and learning and growing and kind of coming into this whole like entrepreneur role, is trying to not be hard on myself when I know I need to take a break, and not look at that as, well, then I'm not being successful if I'm taking a break, I'm not like growing. It's like, well, no, you are, you know, you can take the break, it's okay, you know.
Trust me, I wouldn't do that same thing. Like there are days, especially like if it's like, I don't know, Friday or like Thursday from like 7 till 9, I'm like, oh, there's so many things I could be doing right now. Like I could be doing a podcast, I could be prepping this, I could be doing that, where I'm like, no, I should probably just maybe clean my apartment, or just lay on the couch and watch TV,
yes.
you know what I mean? And like relax,
yes.
Get your house in order, and then everything else.
Yeah, getting yourself in order, getting other things in order, cleaning your house, showering, you know, like the basics, like just like if you're just going, I think you forget to take care of yourself, and that's something that I'm just like trying to like make sure I'm always doing, is taking care of myself so that I am at my best when I need to be at my best. And it's not like I'm burnt out, because in college, I burnt myself out a lot, kind of like with the hustle and you know, I don't know if that's just because I learned the kind of earlier on in all of this, like throughout college and doing the freelancing and like traveling back and forth between Madison and Whitewater and Milwaukee, and like all, you know, I'm just going back and back and back, that I just burnt myself out for not a lot of money, and you know all these kinds of things. It's just like, it's like, take the step back.
I mean, you did a lot more than I definitely did in college, so I mean, I was just at the pub pretty much every night.
Well, let it be known, I was still doing the same thing, but still had my fun too.
So here's an interesting topic that I haven't heard you actually touch on, so I'm curious to hear the answer. What does goal setting look like for Kelsey, especially with, you know, a lot on your plate? You're trying to run a business. What does goal setting look like for you personally and professionally?
So professionally, I actually get a lot of help from my Melissa, so I'm super helpful that I've got like a business partner like him who kind of knows where maybe my strengths and my weaknesses are, so he can kind of steer me when I might not really know how to do something. And the growth of the business, and like I said, scaling is something that he's really good with. He's done with Swarm, he does with the Hive, he's hired, you know, me, he hired Mo, we've hired James, and you know, our whole little team of people, and knowing when the right times to do that, you know, when you can financially do that in your business, and like making sure that you're not just like biting off more you can chew just for the sake of like, okay, well, you know, for doing it. And so he's been helping me kind of with the whole scaling thing, like, okay, we need to bring in like X amount of clients before we can really even think about doing this, or you know, we need to maybe like in X amount of months revisit like our pricing, and like, is that something then that we can go and revisit and talk with like the clients we currently have, and like instead of just like taking on more, can we like work and grow, you know, with the current clients that we have, and so that you're not taking on too much more work to meet your financial goal and all that. Because I mean, money is just way over my head sometimes. Like I've never been a good saver, you know. And all that. So it's nice to have somebody that keeps me level with that, and like keeps me learning with all of that. And I guess professionally, that's kind of like my goal right now, is just like the scaling and setting scaling goals to make sure that we're constantly growing and able to invest back into, whether it's, you know, giving bonuses to, you know, your employees, or hiring on another person part-time, full-time, you know, can we make our health plan better, you know, like can we afford better health care, you know, that kind of stuff.
You guys get full benefits here?
We get full benefits here.
Dang, Eric, what are you doing?
Dental, vision.
Not that.
Again, another thing that like I'm happy to have somebody who like understands that importance and like taken care of. I've always felt very taken care of by Michael, and I want to make sure I'm doing the same for my future employees and all that. I want to be a place where you're taken care of and you feel appreciated, because there's a reason why I have not done anything else. I've always felt appreciated and I always feel very valued. And I think that is so important to like your work ethic and your employees' work ethic. Yeah.
Nice. So what about
I guess personal?
And what are some of the goals personally?
Personal would be, I don't know, I've always been like, I feel like I've been a confident person, but my confidence has been, I don't want to say gone, because that's really sad, but like, it's definitely taken a step back because, again, this is a realm that's not, it's pushing me, owning a business is pushing me outside my comfort zone. So I have a huge fear of, I'm a big perfectionist, so I have a huge fear of failure.
Yep.
So I think that's also then where like taking the risks that it's like, oh, well then that might result in something that like is negative or something, and I'm afraid to take some of those risks. So I think just kind of not being afraid to take risks and stepping outside my comfort zone more and kind of gaining back the confidence that I know I have within me. It's all mental, making sure I'm taking care of like my mental health. I think that's really important that more people need to talk about.
Definitely. More and more people are talking about it every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Especially within the business world and entrepreneurial world.
Yes, especially in that, because I mean, so many people are being able to take their passions, and it's being encouraged that you can take your passions and you can make careers out of them. You can start businesses out of them, and we live now in a world where I feel like that's all changing. Like people can go to college, you can get the job straight out of college in a corporate place, and by all means do that if that's what you'd like to do. But I think a lot of, that's my whole family is from the corporate world, so I'm like the black sheep that wants to like study art. But yeah, I think it's all changing. People are realizing that you can take your passions, or you can be reliant on yourself and your success, and kind of be your own boss. And that's like, people want to do that more these days. It's more, I think it's achievable. I just think that people need to be making sure they're taking care of themselves too.
Do you think it's getting too far? I saw an interesting stat that kids were surveyed in America. And kids were surveyed in Australia. I don't know, like basically I think like elementary school, I don't really remember it.
Okay.
It was like kids were like what they want to do when they grow up, basically, right? And the number one answer in America was a vlogger or a YouTuber.
I knew that actually.
And then the number one answer in Australia was an astronaut.
Oh.
So it was like, is American culture going too far to like I just want to make YouTube videos every day.
Yeah.
I want to be ninja and eat video games all day.
It's crazy because they make so much money from it.
But only a
Ninja's
small...
wife went to Whitewater.
Yes, I know. He's from Chicago.
She's in my graduating class.
Yes,
we went to
formerly Jessica Gosh.
Yes, yep.
I knew her.
That's so funny. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't really know what my answer on that would be, because if a kid wants to make money on YouTube and he's doing it and you're doing it, more power to you. But I watched a documentary last night about cats.
F with cats?
No, that one is wild, but this one was about cats and how cats became so popular on the internet.
Sure.
And how where did the cat meme start? Like where did all of this like internet cat explosion start? And one of them, and then they go through like this whole thing that there's like cat influencers. And there's like agencies that are like pet influencer companies that like take on pet clients and like make sure that they're legally doing brand deals correctly. And like I think that has spawned kind of like, I guess on YouTube or Instagram, people doing things maybe for the wrong reasons, if that makes sense, like exploiting like their pet or their own life or something, for the sake of I can do it and I could maybe make some quick money on it, versus I'm doing this because it's something I'm passionate about.
Yeah. I think that's the key right there. I think kids just see this something that's easy.
They see, I see Ninja, I see Jen Marbles, I see like all these like people that you grew up with that have been like these successful people on YouTube. People, there's YouTube channels of like kids like 3-year-olds reviewing toys that have millions.
Ryan's toy review, yes.
Sure, yeah.
He makes bank.
He makes a bunch of money. Did you
Sure
see
he
the Shirley
does.
Temple King now?
Uh-uh.
Who's like this, like, I don't know how old he is.
Oh, I
This kid
know.
that goes and reviews Shirley Temples at restaurants.
Oh my god,
And it's the
that's so
funniest
cute
thing.
though. That's so funny. But you know, like, that's so innocent. That's really cute. Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you're gonna, if these kids are trying to do that, do it because like you want to do it. Don't do it just because it's like cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would
like,
agree. But I don't know. I mean, didn't people want to be an astronaut at some point because that was cool?
totally. I mean, yeah, I
Or
guess.
that like
Football
doctors
player.
were seen as cool,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
lawyers were seen as like, you know, there's
Yeah.
money in it.
Yeah.
So I think it's just
Changing.
different.
I guess I just want people to do things more so that they're passionate about rather than like for the money.
Mm-hmm.
I know that that's like really hard to do because you got bills to pay, you got life to live, you know, and money is a huge part of life and doing that. But I don't know. I'm just like, I've always just been the kind of person that like, I don't need to necessarily be making all the money in the world. If I'm making enough money to live and live within whatever means my means are, you know, but I'm happy going to work, and I'd rather be happy going to work making a little bit less money than make all the money in the world and go to a job that I hate.
I think that's a lot newer of a concept. I feel like when my parents were around, my grandparents especially, you got a job, it was probably in a factory, and you did well. You know, you paid your bills.
Corporate anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, doing that, and you may not love your job, but you did well. You had a house, you had a family, you're paying the bills. Like you're at that time, like your wife probably didn't have to work.
Yeah.
It was way different. Now it's just a lot more opportunities, and I feel like there's a lot more. I don't want to say hype, but like that's kind of hype around vlogging or doing different things. You're able to be an entrepreneur selling stuff on Etsy or whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's a lot more opportunity, I guess.
Lots of makers, you know, jewelry makers, like all different kinds of things, all different platforms now that it exists for you to be able to get your stuff out there,
For sure.
which is super cool.
Yeah, things like Lyft, you know, and Uber, like the
Yeah.
fact that those exist
Yeah.
shows that anything can happen.
Oh, I love talking to like grandparents. But I was just calling Uber, and they're like, I don't want them to know where I live.
Stranger's car.
Yeah. And I'm like, I think it's funny how like, and I read some articles about Uber and like Lyft when those first came out, and like how it's just so right place, right time. Like at the time that came out, you know, things were just starting to shift towards that way, and people did not necessarily, you know, fear a lot and didn't care, but you know, they've done a very good job of keeping down all the serial killers that happened and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
definitely has happened.
Let's hope so. Let's hope that continues.
Brown cab at Whitewater.
Oh my God, brown cab,
Brown
The dollar.
Wait, did you go to Whitewater?
I did,
Oh my
yeah.
God, wait, I should have remembered this from the last time that you were here and talking about all the people that,
How
all the
else
guests
do I know
from
her
Whitewater.
name is Jessica?
I know. But yeah, I took the bus, the brown bus.
Yeah,
Whatever, is that what they
yeah.
call it, the brown bus? I took that many a times.
Oh yeah, it was literally, it wasn't like, well, I think they raised it.
Do they have
It was
Uber and Lyft in
$1.25.
Whitewater now?
There's one or two, yeah.
Really?
It's the college kids will do it.
Yeah,
That's smart.
So I guess, okay, here's the thing. So if I'm a Lyft driver, an Uber driver, can you call yourself like you're not a business owner because you're not,
You can call yourself out.
but you are, I guess you are your own boss though.
Technically,
You're more like a freelancer. Yeah, you're a contract.
Okay.
You're a 1099
not in
employee.
California.
Really?
No,
What are they
they're
there?
full-time employees.
Really?
So it's a
get
big law
insurance?
thing that you can go look it up if you want. It's very interesting because it's going to cost you very shit. Anyway.
So do they like unionize or what?
No, because California's requiring them to pay more, and there's other laws and then other tax effects that have to go in because then they have to pay employer tax and all that other stuff on it. So it's going to cost them a bunch of money.
That's crazy.
And they're biggest. I think they're the biggest in the state of California. So
That's crazy. Question, how do taxis still exist? How is that still a thing? How
What?
has it
Do you know who you can talk to about that is Mo Crosby because she prefers taxis.
No, she does.
Oh,
She does.
taxis.
She uses
Taxes.
She uses the taxi service. She's got the like I don't know if it's a specific taxi driver that she knows, but it's like a number that she calls anytime she needs a ride. It's like always $5 and that's it.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you're talking about the streetcar.
yeah, Streetcar and why it sucks.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
It's free.
For now.
I've never ridden the streetcar.
Me
It's
neither.
very nice. It
You
smells
haven't either?
clean.
No, there's no
It
reason
smells
to.
clean.
It smells clean.
Okay.
The bus doesn't always smell clean. I'm a big advocate of public transportation.
That I will agree with. I think think that's what, I mean, my boyfriend uses public transportation. He does not have a car, so that is, they're using.
Why doesn't he have a car? Is that his personal choice or financial choice?
Well, he had a little slip up 5 years ago.
Got
Yeah. Well, and so we're actually working on that right now. He's gonna have to go through the whole process of that. Yeah. But I mean, it was like 5 years ago, and so he's just like never had a car since then.
Got it.
Just didn't want to deal with having a car or going through the whole system of that. So. Yeah, but he uses it. He works out in Brookfield, and he takes the bus out to Brookfield every single day.
Bus is great.
From where?
From Wauwatosa.
Oh, that's not bad.
No.
I thought you meant from downtown.
Well, he did. Well, when we lived downtown, we lived right on the corner of Oakland and North. He'd have to go out to Brookfield.
Dang.
It's like from that when we were out there, it was like almost 2-hour commute for him on the bus.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah.
More power to him. I could never do that.
But okay,
My
let's
bus-
talk about why this streetcar sucks. It's because it doesn't go anywhere.
Not yet.
And
Do you know why?
why?
Because the funding got suspended for the hub of it, which is going to be where those high rises are, right where the interstate goes up, and you can go into 794. And
Wasn't part of that
high-rise?
funding though going to be more routes taking you to like all these like desired?
Yes,
Yeah.
they will, but that has to happen first because that's where like the next state or city
You're talking
funding
about
is
the
going to be.
hotel that they haven't
Yep.
been able to build?
Yep.
The Contour?
Yep.
It's been there for 4 years.
The one? No. The one that's right next to the U.S. Bank building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's out of land.
Yep.
That's been fenced off for 4
Yep,
years.
correct. So when that gets built, that's what they're waiting on. Is they messed up funding there. This, I guess, I could totally be wrong.
But yeah, they've lost funding on that thing like 3 times, which is why it hasn't never been built.
And they're waiting. That is like by contract where the hop has to build next. So once they do that, then they can go outside of there afterwards. But they need to get that first.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have a huge problem with it. It's just more so like I think it's strange. Like I don't know. The routes are strange. Like I just feel like if I'm going I don't know to the grocery store that's down here or something, and trying to go somewhere else, like you're still either walking a little bit of a distance maybe to get to like your actual like it's not dropping. I know it can't go on every single street. I don't know. It just like
I feel like it would make more sense if they got closer to Water Street.
Yeah.
Like, especially because it goes over Prospect. Like, I live on Prospect and I live a couple blocks away. Like, I would potentially, instead of paying a $6 Uber, like walk up, especially in summer.
Yeah.
Just take the hop all the way down to like Water Street and then you can go to, Old World Third or wherever you're going. And then that would make more sense. But it goes to what, East Corners or whatever, and then just down, and like that's nowhere near anything.
Well, hey, if you're a big fan of the Streetcar, we are doing like a downtown Shamrock Shuffle to plug the Shamrock Shuffle. We're doing
Do
a.
you even need to plug that thing anymore? I think it's all out.
It does. Yeah. We don't.
Sells
I
itself
think we
now.
got 3 streets sold out right now. But
Yeah.
we're doing like basically where you could hop on the hop in Cathedral Square and take it down toward down near. Wherever near Water Street, it's kind of near Water Street, whatever it ends down there by Public Market. You can like take it down there, and then there's like a few bars that are like.
Oh, like fire on water and make it like that.
Yes,
Got it.
yes. So you can like start there, and then like or vice versa, start down there, take it up to Cathedral Square, and end up there. So.
The only place it makes sense for that thing to go is to Miller Park and back.
Oh, you mean American Family Insurance?
Yeah, and Fan Field. That's fine.
I don't know. I'm scared for that. I hope that it goes more towards like the Bucks Stadium. I think that'd be an awesome.
Why? You could walk to the Buck Stadium from anywhere, basically.
Well, yeah.
Downtown's not that bad.
Where would the nearest hop stop be
Hop
to
stop.
5? But by 5 Surf, like where's like the closest one to it?
There's really,
No.
Is there-
East
is there-
Point-
is
East
there-
Point, probably.
there's
Yeah.
really not anyone that are too close to it.
No. Because think about how packed those streets get when there's already not enough parking. That thing needs to get way more developed.
Add one more form of transportation that people need to like figure out down in that congested area already. I think that would be a shit show.
Especially when a lot of people, especially now going to the fast reform, are not people that come downtown a lot, which is great. It brings more people downtown.
What
But
are they
they
doing with those big empty lots by like the Modern?
It's a good question.
I think there isn't it parking garages.
I'm gonna have a guess that one of my offices will be there, but
Oh really?
yeah.
Like or like a hotel.
The one where the Bradley Center is gonna be all restaurants and bars stuff. I
Oh,
believe.
nice.
It's gonna be shops and stuff. I think is their proposed. I believe. And then I think the one by the parking garage, I don't know what that one will be.
Okay.
I don't know.
Alright.
But let's.
Let me ask some questions. Let's get back into this.
Yeah.
So,
Go for it.
business owner to business owner. I have some questions.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So, something that I am becoming better at, and I go in like really waves of it, is making sure that I focus on continuing education.
Yeah.
Because I don't work with a lot of people. Like I have Kevin, who's my business partner, and I can bounce stuff off him, but him and I do very different things.
Yeah.
So how do you personally make sure that you develop growth still outside of just doing your daily tasks?
Yeah. Like in terms of design or business?
More design, like the
More design,
services
okay.
that you do.
Yeah, so I mean that's just it's just practicing, doing stuff for fun. James and I like there's like trends or challenges that like sometimes Instagram or the hashtags and stuff that will kind of start going. Like one of them was a typography, like a poster a day. There's this one guy who did movie poster a day, and I don't know if he's still doing it, but he did like a movie poster a day, and it would be his like version of a movie poster, and it had all different kinds of styles. Like he didn't stick to necessarily one kind of style. Some were minimal, some were like, you know, or based off of like a famous line in the movie. And then more people started to do that. So they would be like, I'm going to do a movie poster a day, or I'm going to do a type poster a day, or I'm going to do a graphic about a song a day, or something like that. James and I did the whole alphabet. It was 36 days of type. He finished, I didn't, but it's basically, where you just take a different typography project a day and try to put it out. Beeple is another really awesome, he does things called Everydays, which I don't know if he's like the one that kind of started this, but he's been doing it for a really long time. He just puts out a different design every single day. No matter how busy, you know, life gets. I think he's got a family and all that, and it's just like, you know, if he could do it, you know, anybody can. But just kind of keeping myself fresh, doing things for fun and making things for fun that aren't necessarily for work. Just to kind of like, or like learning YouTube, back to YouTube, like since YouTube is essentially like another way, you know, you can learn anything on YouTube. So I will watch like YouTube tutorials on like different design techniques, or Adobe sometimes has like courses that come out with like your subscription, where you can just like watch a video on like something that's new in Photoshop, or you know, just kind of like trying to take what I learned off of those. Something that I really want to get into that I've heard really awesome things about is Skillshare. Have you guys heard of Skillshare?
No.
It's like it's a, I don't know if it's a subscription that you pay per month or if you pay per course, but they're short little courses that you can take, and they have like a course on anything, like whether it's graphic design, whether it's business. They have time management courses, like if you're really struggling on like how can I keep myself like organized and like manage my time better, they have like a full course that you can take on just time management, web design, you know, jewelry making, print making, like all different kinds of things that you can take courses for. And I've always been really interested to see like what those are like, and I kind of want to try one out.
Similar like masterclass, huh? In their courses?
Probably, something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, I mean, that's what I do. Just try to just do more things for fun. Like I'll go home and like grab my iPad and just like doodle and just, something to keep my mind separated from all of the work and content and visual things that I look at all day for like other people, and just kind of like doing something fun for myself that I can like let my creativity go. I like to paint too, so I do like painting.
Nice.
Music's huge. I don't really do much music anymore, but I like listening to music.
Do you play an instrument?
No, I sing though.
Oh. I got drunk with my friend and we decided we should start a band this past weekend, so maybe
This weekend?
this
Congratulations
past
on your new venture.
What's the band name?
I don't know, we're gonna be it's early, mid-2000s alternative cover band.
Nice.
Do you play an instrument?
I used to play guitar, so I said, yeah, I could really learn to play guitar because I played a few instruments in my day, so I picked that up fairly quickly. And he played bass, so we just need a drummer and singer.
A very rough project, it sounds like.
Very early stages.
That's hilarious. Well, good luck to you on that. I hope that your band becomes a huge success.
Thanks. Sorry I'll derail your questions.
No.
What else you got?
So another one that'll go along with that then is, so like as a business owner, there's things that you can be doing all day, every day.
Yeah.
You know, to get yourself better, client project, whatever it is. How do you personally know when to like turn that switch off? And you can never truly turn it off, but like try and relax, like watch Netflix or, you know,
Yeah.
all day.
I don't know, I guess like I work in a lot of lists. So like I was listening to a podcast, and a bit of advice that I heard that was really awesome that I've been doing for a while now is writing your to-do list that you want to, your things to do that you want to accomplish like tomorrow, like write that tonight. And then once you get your to-do list like figured out, like what am I going to do tomorrow? Okay, well then if I got everything done that I was supposed to get done today for my last to-do list, here's my new one that I got to get done tomorrow. Like shut my notebook. I'm like, okay, I know what I'm going to have to do tomorrow, but like now's my time to like, I don't know, back away from it for a little bit. So I don't know, I do that when I get home, unless I like have a bunch of work that I try to get done. But I really try to like, when I'm home, not work on too much. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like I try to just like do a lot here.
Yeah.
So that when I go home and I'm normally very tired, I can at least try to like decompress, not make my home feel like another office. Like I want my home to feel like a home. I want that to be where I can relax. I don't want it to just feel like an extension of work. So I just try to, like if I'm home, try not to be working, spend time with my boyfriend Chris, my cat, you know. But of course there are times when I go home and I have to work. I'm not saying that it's every single time I go home and I'm not like answering phone calls, emails, whatever. It just depends on the day. If I really had a lot to get done and I need to keep working and I just need to like get out of the office and not be here till, you know, 8, 9, 10, just like go home, then I'll keep working from home. But I just get so distracted at home too. I really cannot work at home. It's really hard for me.
I totally
There's so many other things that I can think of like when I'm home that I would like to be doing rather than working.
And your cat's around.
And my cat's there and he's just like all up in my business, so yeah.
No, totally. Yeah,
What do you do there?
Yeah, what do you do?
so I don't know,
Apparently nothing, that's why I asked the question.
Well, honestly, it was kind of out of curiosity because it's tough for me because on average, I'd say I have at least a meeting a day. So I don't, you know, so I work out of the same co-working space as you know, I work here in the Hive.
You're a late night worker here too.
So I don't try to be. Like I have a lot of earlier meetings. And then I have to come in after, or I can do before and then leave and come back, but I take public transit, so. But anyway, I struggle with that. I have like meetings throughout the day. I have to leave, drive to wherever I'm going to drive, or have that call, whatever it is. Then I come in, and then it's like, okay, well, I haven't been able to work for the last 3 hours. Or whatever. Like work, quote unquote.
Right,
Even though
what
I'm
you want to get,
still
what you
working.
want to get done.
What I need to get done.
Yeah, what you need to get done, yeah.
So like I have a really hard time feeling productive when I'm at meetings, whether like any kind of type of meeting it is, like if I'm doing a photo shoot or a proposal or whatever it is, like I'm not in the office, so I don't feel like I'm being productive, and I don't come in every day either. You know, there's days where it just wouldn't make sense.
Right.
So honestly, I don't have a good answer to that question, and I do work a lot at home.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm less productive when I'm home. I know I'm less productive when I'm at home.
I think it's also, and this is something that it's taken me a long time to really like grasp and do, and I'm still always improving on it, but like the whole time management thing and prioritizing like on your like, whether it's a mental to-do list or like a written out to-do list, like what are the things that I need to get done today in order to feel like I have been productive, and try to focus on getting those done rather than like, okay, I need to get like literally everything that's on my list done, or else then I'm, you know, like if there's some big things that need to get done, get the big things done. And then hopefully then throughout the rest of your week, when maybe you have one less meeting or you can have your office time, you're not like trying to crunch in like everything into your 3 hours of office time or something.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, no, that's a lovely idea.
It's very, very hard.
Oh, it is. It's interesting to like learn to juggle those things and then also just feel productive while doing it. And what I do is much different than what you do.
Totally, yes.
I don't have the ability to like do something that I do for fun. Like if I wanted to go build a website for fun, like I guess I could, but that's not necessarily fun.
I don't like doing websites either, so.
But like what I find fun is like the meetings are fun. Like I love meeting people. I love building those new relationships. I love going to networking events. Like I try and do that kind of stuff to keep it there. But
Yeah. Oh man, I so wish that was fun for me. That just like that stuff just gives me so much anxiety. You know what I mean?
I just gotta be in the right mood for it.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing too. Like, that's what I say, I'm like, the introverted, extroverted thing. Like, it's not always like this huge deal. Like, oh, I have to be in front of people like me, like hide in my corner. Like, that's not always how I am. There's definitely times when I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. Like, I'll talk to anyone. But then there's definitely times when I don't want to talk to anyone. It just depends on the mood. I don't know, like.
Even the most extroverted people always need a day to themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, there are times where I'm with my girlfriend and I'm just like, so frustrated. Like, I just want to go be alone. But like, and you're just here. It bugs me.
You're just like in the room.
Yeah.
Your presence is here, awesome, great, but like, don't talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's solid. It's like, especially because like, especially when I go out and I've been drinking, I will talk to everybody in the bar. I'm like, I don't know, who care who you are, whatever, I'll say hi. And then like, I just need a day of like not talking to anybody and not better, you know?
I think I used to be a lot more, social's not the right word because I'm a social person. I like being social, but I used to be able to kind of like walk up to really anyone and talk because I was doing nightlife photography. Like when I was like shooting for Weekend Natives pretty regularly, you know, I'd be out at a bar and I have to walk up to so many people being like, let's take a picture, woo, like get drunk, like smile, girls' night, and take a picture, like all that. I was just trying to get people like hyped and like excited, and now that I don't really do that, and I'm not out all the time doing that, and I'm not around those people, I'm not trying to be like that person that's like, you know, getting the party shot and all that. That side of me it's still there, but it's just like I'm over it. And I
grew up, huh?
Yeah, well, not necessarily growing up because like the people, like Chris, my boyfriend, still shoots for Weekend Natives. Andy Brill still shoots for Weekend Natives, and they're both very adult people. They just, I don't know, they have a knack for it more so than I do. Andy Brill's a beast. I don't know how he goes to a corporate job now. He has a corporate job, and then he still like loves doing all the shooting and all that. I'm like, I don't know. And he has a kid. And he just had I think Nova's gonna be 3 in April. I don't know. But yeah, so crazy.
right.
Yeah, but he's a beast. He like that, and I respect that so much. You know, he loves doing it. At least I think he does. But you know, he's clearly still doing it, so I'm sure he does still. But yeah, I don't know that. I used to be so much more of that person, and I just think that it just got old to me.
No, I get that. Ironically, we talked about the Shamrock Shuffle earlier, and a friend of mine texted me. He's like, "Where are you doing the shuffle this year?" And I was like, "I've actually never done the shuffle before."
What?
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I was like, I feel like I've gone past the point where I can go back and do it.
No,
You have to.
never do.
No, because honestly, and like, don't take this the wrong way.
That's okay.
It's just not like going into a packed bar is like my least favorite thing.
Well, that's why we're trying to kind of like also expand it into like areas like Walker's Point. Walker's Point was so much fun last year because it was our first year doing it on that street.
Oh, sure.
It was so much more low
key.
I say low key, but I mean like obviously still like the bars were packed, but nothing like it would be
On Water Street.
on Water Street or even Brady Street or anything like that. It was like the bars were comfortably packed where like there's
You can
definitely
actually
people
still
here
have
partying.
conversation.
Yeah, and people, but it was, oh man, it was so much fun. So if you're wanting to do it, that's the street that I think I'm going to be in charge of this year, kind of walking around on that day. So
Got it.
it's a really fun one.
Here's the good part.
Are you doing the shuffle this year?
I'm sure I will.
Giving me crap for it?
I'm sure I will. Here's the one I love the Shamrock Shuffle. It's
Okay.
day drinking.
Which I'm a terrible day drinker.
So
I'm terrible.
So bad.
He's
So
a terrible
bad.
night drinker.
Oh, Eric.
Well, it's because like I get so tired, and then it's like, okay, now I'm drunk. I'm trying to drink like I was in college.
I get like a good 2 hours, and then I'm like,
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah,
Eric
I gotta-
Shabazz.
do you Irish goodbye?
I do definitely.
I don't think I do.
Oh.
I think I don't know. I really don't know.
I stay up till 5 a.m.
I think it depends. Like, I think it depends who I'm with because I can also be the person that's saying goodbye to people for like a half hour. You know what I mean?
Gotta go, guys. I really gotta go. Maybe
yeah.
one more.
Right, I gotta. Yeah. One last shot before we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe let's just go to a different bar.
You know, let's just keep this night going.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What else is great about it is the pregame. In my opinion, that's like the best part.
See, and I've never participated in that side because I'm always the one running it.
Oh,
So like,
true.
So when people do their pre-games, they're like, they have like their friends over and they do the brunch at their house or like, you know, whatever. That sounds so much fun, but I'm not doing that because I'm either doing our 4K run that we do the same morning and like helping run that, or we're doing like a late pickup for all the people who somehow cannot make it to, you know, our t-shirt pickup days and like need a second or different option to pick up their stuff. Doing those, so I just never get to do those the fun pre-games.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
And you drink.
I love a good pre-game.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. How about this? Why don't we go? You host the pregame.
I won't host it, but I have friends that are hosting it now. You will gladly invite you.
Okay.
Gladly invite
So I thought you weren't going.
Well, I said I was going.
Oh, you said you.
It was like
Oh,
which
probably,
means yes.
There's like a slight chance I won't, but more likely than not, yes.
Is the lady friend going?
Probably.
Ah.
She did last year.
Got
What
it.
street did she do?
Was she? Because she was with you, right?
Yeah, she was. I think it was water. No, it was third. We went to third.
They're essentially the same.
Yeah, they're really close. Come on.
I think it's funny that you don't remember.
No. Yeah.
Too much of the
Well,
pre-game.
it's been so many years. It's all mixed years together.
Oh yeah. I did do the 12 Bars of Christmas.
Oh,
That's fun.
that
a
one's fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do that one in Madison now. We just did our third year of doing it in
Oh, really?
Madison.
That's cool. Nice.
It's really cool. It's
How do you
actually
split
really
up Madison? Because
it's not
a street, right?
No, it's not split up like in Milwaukee because I mean you kind of can, but also like if you say like we're just gonna do State Street, you're missing out on a lot of really great bars that literally are just like you know jut off to the side. So
Right.
it kind of goes in like a loop. There's like you start at the pickup is at Red Rock, and then it kind of goes around to like the Chasers area, Danny's, kind of down around, and then you get to State Street, and then you walk all the way down State Street. It's primarily on State Street, but we like to include the ones that are a little bit outside. But it's been really fun watching that one kind of grow from the start. We expect Madison and Milwaukee are two very different markets. We were obviously expecting Madison to be like college kids. You would be shocked at how many people that are probably ages 40 to 50 that come to the 12 Bars of Christmas Madison. And they party.
Yeah.
Like, they are the most fun.
It's like a Jimmy Buffett concert.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Oh my god. It's crazy. Like, of course there's college kids and people who do that. And I think that now that it's like catching on more and like people start to see it. But like initially, like that first year, it was not a lot of college people. It was all like middle-aged people.
It's so funny.
And it was a blast. It's always a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
I love drinking with people that are older than us.
Oh, yeah.
It's so just different.
Oh yeah.
Especially when they go really hard.
Oh yeah, and they go all in on the outfits too. There was a guy walking around in a full Christmas onesie and he had a Dick in a Box present, and he was so proud of it. And every time you saw him, he'd go, "Woo!" That was so funny.
Was it his actual day?
No,
That's good.
no, it was a fake
Did you
one
really
that
think
he would
it
then
was?
take out. Yeah,
Oh man.
that's bold.
It could
you
have.
know?
On a cold day like that, you know, that's really what you want to show.
That's really what.
Yes, this is it all.
Okay, so we should probably bring this back on track here, right?
Yeah, let's bring it back.
So I think this is an interesting question for you because your career does not necessarily require it, but do you regret going to college at all?
No. In fact, there are a lot of things that I feel like if I could go back and do differently, knowing now what I do, I would do it differently. Definitely would go back and get some business under my belt. Obviously, that would help me now. Whitewater also has a really great business school. I mean, that's really all I would do differently if I went back. Is probably just go to get some business, something or other.
Hustle less, maybe?
No, I don't regret that. I don't regret that at all because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. I wouldn't have met the people that I met to get me here. I've met a lot of right people at the right time, and I attribute a lot of my success and what I do now to those people who I've mentioned. You know, Michael from Weekend Natives and whatever. I mean, he's the one that gave me the opportunity to even shoot for Weekend Natives, which then transpired to shooting all over. We did like music festivals and stuff and made a lot of really great connections and all that. I miss college, and not from the party sense. Of course, you miss the parties. Was so much fun. But the adult in me now is like I miss learning, and I feel like I took that for granted. When I was in college, like it's not fun when you're in college. It's not fun writing the papers. It's not fun like when you're in it. But now I'm just like I kind of wish I could just like sit in a college class. You know what I mean? And like learn.
I teach Wednesday nights. WCTC, come through.
Where?
I teach intro to accounting.
What? That's fun.
No business.
I can learn about some accounting.
Yeah, if you're any questions, feel free to reach out.
Yeah, no.
It's not as fun. Yeah, no, even teaching, I'm like, just cheat. Like, I just cheat. None of them are accounting or business students.
Oh, man.
Like, just Google it. Like,
My
find the answer.
My whole family comes from the corporate banking world, and one summer I went to my mom. My mom works for Nicolay National Bank, so we were talking. I was just wanted a couple extra dollars. She's like, well, I'll come and pay you to do some paperwork and whatever for an afternoon at the bank. And I'm like, sure, like why not? I'll definitely do that. I lasted a half hour before I walked into my mom's office and I was like, I don't know how you do this day in and day out.
What were you doing?
I was staring at numbers and every time I saw a certain number I'd have to highlight it and all these things. And I was like, I don't know how you do this. I don't know how you look at spreadsheets and and look at numbers and do all this paperwork and it was just did not like it.
It's crazy.
So I was like, I'm going home.
That type of work has a very real mental fatigue that comes along with it.
Yeah.
My mom used to tell me all that. My mom's an accountant. She used to tell me that all the time, and I didn't kind of didn't believe her. It's real.
Oh yeah.
You sit down in the computer for 8, 9, however many hours and do that kind of work, and you come out tired and exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you feel
How do you feel?
I was kidding, like you guys are.
Tell us about the first-hand experience that you have with that.
Oh, I mean, I'm the wrong person to ask right now because it's not gonna be a good answer. I'm in a new role that's expanding. I'm taking on a lot more responsibility. I literally was running 5 businesses until Monday. So yeah, it was a lot. Hence some of this stuff falling off and just
just trying to just keep your head above water.
Plus, then I also reprioritized jiu-jitsu over that and was doing that every night. So, but it is what it is.
That sounds fun.
It is a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. Eric's too afraid to come.
That sounds like a great way to let some steam out.
Oh yeah, very true. And good workout.
Yeah.
And made friends on the mats. When are you gonna come? Anyway.
Chop chop, Eric. Get that jiu-jitsu in.
I'll go if Kelsey goes.
Okay, well.
There's a lot of girls at our gym, so yeah, you'd be just fine.
I always want to do a kickboxing class. I think that would
Would
be
you have
fun.
one of those?
Is it at that gym?
The gym I train at MMA, so we have kickboxing, Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu.
Is that how you knew that guest
He's my coach,
down here?
yeah.
Oh, fun. That's exciting.
Yep.
Psycho.
He fights on the 29th,
I saw that.
so watch that fight.
Professional?
Yeah, in the UFC.
Is it hard to get into that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He fought he's 17-7. He was 17-5 before he even got this chance at UFC.
Wow.
In professional fighting.
That's nuts, man.
So, yeah.
It does.
But I think the last question for you here. What's the advice you're giving to younger you?
To younger me.
What age are you going back to, and what's the advice you're giving?
Oof. I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to go back to my teenage self, like 14 to 16-year-old Kelsey.
Okay.
And I would definitely tell her it's okay to make mistakes. And
Were you a perfectionist back then?
I've always been. It's okay to make mistakes and to maybe care a little bit less about what people think about you, because I feel like I cared a lot about that when I was younger. And it really didn't allow me to find myself as a person. It's taken a lot for me to rewire my brain to I don't know how to say I don't give a fuck about what people think about me, but I used to really care about that, and it would then you're not really your own person. You're not doing things for yourself. You're doing things for the validation of others or for the recognition from others. It's you need to do that.
So what have you done to better find yourself? Maybe even now. Is it really just letting go of the thoughts of others and doing things just because you want to, and how do you find this?
I think it's